There are some serious conflicts of interests going on with Roblox, and I touched upon this in a previous video, and new information has come to light now that makes everyone question everything going on behind the scenes with Roblox. This comes to us from RTC, which is the community of Roblox with 1 million followers, not officially Roblox, but anyone that plays Roblox knows who this account is. Said Roblox's VP of Civility and Partnerships also serves on the boards for Boston Children's Hospital Digital Wellness Lab, the Family Online Safety Institute, and the Tech Coalition, raising questions about potential conflicts of interest. They continued and said, the conflict of interest is that the board members of online safety organizations also serve on Roblox's board. As YouTuber Legal Mindset notes, this could be industry capture. While the institutes may be reliable, they may be under legal question in the ongoing Louisiana lawsuit. And then links more information from Legal Mindset and Connect Safety. But I wanted to focus on Madam Savvy said, quote tweeting this, because the industry capture is a real thing. This is something that I've had an uncountable number. Like I've lost count of the conversations I've had behind the scenes with people about this quote unquote industry capture situation, where there are people behind the scenes that pull all the strings, hold all the power. And if you don't bend the knee to them, you are not in the cult and you're not allowed to be part of it. This is something that I've learned about the game industry itself. It's something we've seen to a lesser degree in games journalism, but behind the scenes of these mega multi-billion or trillion-dollar organizations, we have it to a much higher degree. Savvy says, industry capture is an understatement. When you have communications heads from Verizon, T-Mobile, AT&T, not only part of FOSSI, but also a ratings board, it makes you ask questions. Thread, though, showing a small glimpse into Tammy's web and how it connects even to the ESRB and the actual industry influence these people have. FOSSI, interesting things to note. For the low price of $15,000, you can hop into the Cool Kids Club that features all the top from all your favorite companies like Microsoft, Nintendo, Sony, Disney, AT&T, Verizon, Discord, TikTok, Tencent, and Google, and more. In fact, you will never know who you will find and what kind of background they have. Makes you wonder why they're getting involved in certain things. And we have some screenshots here about membership. Fact overview. How much is the membership? Trade Association, $15,000. Inquire about the Family Online Safety Institute, or FOSSI. The Family Online Safety Institute is widely acknowledged as the organization of choice for those who are serious about their corporate social responsibilities and believe that family online safety is the key to a better internet. So these people are censorship gurus pushing censorship for power, and they have captured the entire industry together to be a part of it and have a seat at the table. And these are the people that decide what's allowed and what's not. It doesn't matter what we think. It doesn't matter what we want. These people, for whatever reason, hold no governmental position, have no official power, are the ones that are deciding what's okay and what's not, because they just have so much money backing them. And there's so many people in companies of power that are a part of it that they all just agree to follow the Family Online Safety Institute instead of, I don't know, what is best for people and what people actually want, which is why there's a disconnect between the two. Savvy continues, Tammy helped give insights into what teens want, noting how teens want more stories with friendship and less with romance. So why is Roblox trying to turn into a dating platform? But DICE is what is interesting to note because that is relating to the ESRB because Patricia Vance, dear leader of the ESRB, is on the board of DICE, the same DICE that had on Greg Miller's, who went on lamenting F Donald Trump and F Elon Musk. That was the same Greg Miller that said, hey, I don't care if you don't want to vote, if you don't feel comfortable, don't go and vote. If you do go vote for Kamala Harris because that's what I really want you to do. TDS is a legitimate mind virus. It is very real. It has captured many, many people. This is Tammy saying thanks to DICE, which, by the way, DICE is a very woke organization that pushes people of power and deciding what direction the game industry goes, even if it's things that the public doesn't want. Who's ready to find love on Roblox? The gaming platform's cooking up a dating feature, which, again, that's propaganda because nobody wants this. Anyone you ask thinks it's fucking weird. Why would you present this with a positive spin? Unless you are captured by these people. And we're starting to see the inner workings of the machine. We're pulling the curtain back and seeing who's actually the Wizard of Oz right now. There's Patricia Vance on the board of directors of DICE. And this is the DICE Awards with Greg Miller saying F Elon and F Trump. It's Greg Miller. Yeah, great, Greg. How's that working out for your career, bro? Savvy continues. These two are quite close and display it through their connections and what boards they sit on. Patricia Vance, ESRB, was the one pushing age verification software with Yoti, now partnered with Spotify this year for age verification. And, oh, would you look at that? World Economic Forum partner. Huh. But the FTC shot them down, which I never thought I'd be cheering on the FTC, but here we are. She laments it herself. Don't take speculation. So here we have FTC denies application. U.S. government denies ESRB's AI-powered face scanning. ESRB Plus reports that it's using facial recognition technology to verify ages of children. When they were, this is something I reported on years ago. I don't remember. It was like 2 or 3 years ago. And back then I was like, this is insanity. Of course it's going to get knocked down. Like back then it was very logical. Nowadays it's such an onslaught of insanity that I wonder if it is obvious to get shot down anymore. Sharing this update on our application to the Federal Trade Commission to approve the use of privacy protective facial age estimation technology. I'm going to say this till my face turns blue. The ESRB has no power here. Slap a fucking letter on the box and move on with your day, ESRB. That is your job. That is the extent of your job. Move the fuck along. Stop trying to act like you have more power than you do. This is not what the ESRB was created for. This is not something people are clamoring for. Get the fuck out. I don't know how else to say it. This ain't for you. Stop trying to create bigger, powerful structures out of the ESRB. What we all agreed to was a letter that told us, what are we buying? Great. Thank you, ESRB. We agree on this, even though it's ugly on the front of the box for the parents that don't pay attention and need that. Sure, if it lets these games continue to be made, fucking whatever. Okay, I don't care. I'm past it. But now you want more? Why? How can you prove that we need more? Very curious. Now we have some conflicts of interest here. Academy of Interactive Arts and Sciences, in Sciences. Tammy Burmack, Roblox, final wave of programming for DICE 2025. And there's Tammy. Interesting when you see behind the scenes here. Thanks to Andrew Pizerpi for always making such astute and data-backed observations. If you're interested in understanding some of the challenges of the Australia social media ban, have a listen. Anyway, here is Tammy directly interacting with information about Australia's age verification proposals from 8 months ago. The video, Andrew acknowledges no one wants to upload ID to use Instagram, acknowledges no face scanning is effective, tech isn't there yet, says this is a feel-good measure. References South Korea banning under 18s for a decade, but found it did nothing. China was the same outcome. And the data showed it didn't do anything positive. Nothing has changed. However, he then says, and this is a quote, I'm much more optimistic about places like here in the UK, where we are actually listening to young people. We're listening to researchers like myself in terms of making online environments safer, as opposed to sticking our heads in the sand and just pretending like this social media thing is just going to go away. When asked if he believes companies should be held responsible, this is key quote 2. Yes. So I think there needs to be a huge burden on these social media firms. First of all, they need to be able to share, to be forced to share the data that they have on young people, not with advertisers, but with researchers, so that we can actually unpick what the harms and the benefits of these online platforms are. Talks about tax money filling potholes and says they should go to understanding young people. Dude, is this guy self-telling on himself? What the hell? Ethical design code, setting a ban at 16, it absolves companies of responsibility. If something bad happens on a platform and a user sneaks on, the company says they aren't at fault. They have the best tech and they don't need to make their platform safer or better. It is about control and data and giving government more control, which I agree. These research firms usually end up government funded, usually or every single time. Elon commented on Twitter that this seemed like a backdoor way to control access to the internet by all Australians. And he goes on to answer, a broken clock is right twice a day. But no, I mean, I think there is a real human rights implication here. Young people have a right to information. Children have a right to play. I disagree with this. Children do not have a right to the internet. He does ultimately agree with Elon. It won't make things safer, but he still thinks what the UK will do, this was 8 months ago, will be best, which here's the problem that people need to realize with this kind of stuff. His job is professor of human behavior and technology at Oxford. So of course he's going to say he needs more information. That benefits him and his job and his career to further what he wants. It is a personal bias that he's pushing out there, thinking that this is what the world wants. Like, no, bro. I don't care what you do for your job. I'm not giving you my information. Get out of here. Savvy ended off saying, this is why looking at their social circles is key. Who do they agree with? Who do they support? Who do they get awards from and why? The awards thing is extremely telling, by the way. It's all one giant club, and we are not invited despite being the ones to pay their paychecks. You would think these conflicts of interest would end with just people working in the industry. But no, they actually go far beyond this. And this is where it gets a little bit more questionable when it comes to, I referenced this in a previous video as well. Insider trading, potentially, allegedly insider trading. Chibi Reviews, Jim Banks is a co-sponsor of the COSA and Screen Act currently in U.S. Congress. He recently was trading Roblox stock a month ago. Oh, this is curious. Jim Banks, Republican Senate, and published on June 26th, Roblox, 4 trades. Well, look at when those happened. And oh, by the way, it's not like this guy trades Roblox often. It was right before all this shit started going down with Roblox. It really does make you wonder if he was privy to information about what's going on with regulations on Roblox. It just, you got to ask these questions. I said, it was never about the children. Post-Tamales, did you say money or children? And this is Savvy. She said, This was a sell transaction in case it was not obvious, as if he may have known bad information would be coming out or that he might have a solution, in quotes, and tagged Senator Banks. I think it is interesting timing. Did you know something? On June 26th, Republican Congressman Jim Banks from Indiana filed a financial disclosure reporting a stock transaction. According to the report, they executed a sell transaction for Roblox valued between $1,000 and $15,000. This transaction is part of required financial disclosures that provide transparency into the financial activities of public officials. Roblox Corporation, known for its online gaming platform, has been a popular stock among investors, and this sale suggests Congressman Banks is adjusting his investment portfolio. It really does make you wonder. Chibi Reviews continues and says, this Roblox situation is going to be used to get the Kids Online Safety Act, or COSA, and Screen Act passed in the United States. Mark my words. Perfect timing for them to use this politically. And I'll end it with this, because the coincidences are unavoidable at this point. Chibi Reviews, demand for the Epstein list, where it all started. Called crazy for wanting it released. Collective shout appears out of nowhere. Payment processors censor anime and games. UK Online Safety Act comes into effect to censor adults. Australia, EU, USA, and Canada do similar acts. Multiple companies jump on the bandwagon to force ID. PayPal gets removed from Steam. Roblox scandal gets government attention instantly, which this is a big one. The government doesn't typically act as fast as they did with the lawsuit against Roblox, like what just happened. And I even said this in the previous video talking about this, where I'm like, all the things that are happening in, 2.5 days? It all seemed like it was happening very fast. And that does not happen unless there is a coordinated effort behind the scenes and far more information that we are not privy to. Roblox's VP of Civility and Partnerships works with online safety organizations. Multiple tech companies on those boards with the VP are companies wanting forced ID. And Chibi says, am I crazy for noticing this? And I quote tweeted, said, coordinated. Mr. X51, agree, sure looks like it. If it's a coincidence, it's the most oddly timed coincidence in the history of mankind. However, I don't believe in coincidences. I'll let you guys decide on if you feel like this is all just one big convenient coincidence, or if you think that maybe there's something deeper, potentially far more sinister going on behind the scenes. I think I have a feeling most people are going to agree that there's something very strange going on right now, and we all see it. They're not hiding or getting away with any of this right now, and they hate us for noticing. And I'll leave that one there.